Hello, everyone, and welcome to Short Rest for episode 55. Oh, my eyes
We're
are
live.
watering.
You turned red, bro. You turned as red as that tea.
I almost died off tea, everyone.
Above table, yes. Our GM almost died. I didn't kill you. Your throat did.
Hey, we're at downtime, everyone. But we didn't begin with downtime. We had to finish. I had to really know what we were going to do with that fish. No way were we were just going to be like, I bought a swordfish.
You literally asked me last night, you were like, so is Arrow carrying around a giant fish? And I'm like, I guess.
Yeah, for the rest of the campaign, I'm just gonna have a rotten fish in my backpack.
I'm like, I don't think he put it down. Like, that's not where we left it. And he's like, I gotta figure out what we're doing with that. So,
Speaking of Arrow, I have to ask this. This is off. This is not about. I'm sorry for those who want a recap of the episode. I will get to that in a second. I want to do some pitching for merch ideas. Does Arrow have any tattoos?
That is a really good question. I had thought about it at one point of giving him tattoos on his arm, but obviously he doesn't. Those aren't visible on his character anywhere. I think he might have some up on his shoulders or otherwise down his back, but I'll have to do some futzing with it.
I think on his back. That's
but
awesome.
He probably has at least one that he got while he was drunk.
I would love to make a long sleeve shirt, an Arrow long sleeve shirt, where one has like a sailor tattoo, and the other one from the elbow down is just skeleton.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
that came from. I was like, we don't have any merch except for Legati from VinTear, and then so we were like, okay, well we could do Arrow, and he was like, does Arrow have tattoos? I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so. Phoenix knows. I don't know.
I'll get you that information. Trust.
Perfect. We'll start building out some ideas. Anyways, for the actual session of 55, honestly, it's like a Chekhov's gun thing. We started with the swordfish, and now it's being made into a short sword. So that's good. By the way, I think Arrow does have the swordfish short sword.
Short sword, dude. Enunciate.
Swordfish short sword. No.
The new tongue twister.
Short.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. We began first. I'll say, for the first 2 weeks for Legati, for his particular experience was going to the Commerce Church of Joaquin, and I thought long and hard on would there be books,
Of course,
readily available about usurpness or being usurped, like God being usurped, and I think it's one of those things where no way would a power that can control the information they provide you with the information how to defeat them. So there had to be some creative liberties in what could be metaphored into a different way to usurp a god. And that was representing a domain that they would, or an aspect of they do, but in a different shade.
Yeah, I think Legati is smart enough to put it together, like reading a history of gods and gods that aren't around anymore. And, like making a timeline of when did this god stop getting mentioned in history? And then, hey, there's this other god that is sort of the same thing. Oh, started like right before this god, just making parallel timelines. He would have put it together eventually, like what... History isn't specifying the details, but you can see the patterns that are happening.
Yeah. So we now have an idea how to, like, the whole concept, the question was, how do we usurp a god? And now we have the answer, which is find a person who represents a domain that can be... Then we learned one way, is if someone was going into a domain, have them represent the same thing, but a different light of it. That's the usurpness. Now, how do we tether? How do we make someone a god? Those are different questions. But we found something. So that was Legati's time for the 2 weeks. You have another week of downtime. We can decide on what that could be. I think you have something. Yeah, we have things in mind. Then we shifted over to Arrow, and I wanted there to be a reason, and it made sense because of where you're from, that you would run into a bunch of thieves and sort of people who talk in secret.
Yeah, I really liked that scene that you had because it kind of encapsulates a lot of that for Arrow of like, I hear people talk a lot and I don't often understand what they're talking about, but I want to because it involves me. And like I had written down somewhere, like even past that point, like in more recent history, he, instead of being wary of people talking in ways that he can't understand, he just kind of like let it slip. Like he just stopped caring about knowing what they're saying, and it's just like when they want me to know something, they'll tell me. And he's gotten to a point now where he's like, I want to go back to how I was when I was younger. I don't want to just blindly accept orders from people who are conspiring behind my back.
And I mean, I think this is the first time we actually in game role played as Alto and Arrow, and
yeah,
it very much felt like an older brother who was like, I don't want to deal with my younger brother. Don't touch my stuff. It felt very much of like, just please don't do. I don't like this. But then there was definitely a defense happening, which I think was really, really sweet. With a nat 20, hell yeah.
That felt so good. Can't even lie.
I was like, how do you get away from 4 grown adults who want to hurt a kid? Easy. Shove one over, have them face plant into the sand. The other ones get a fistful of sand, go blind, and you're able to scurry away. I would assume at that point you're able to call in a couple of people, like neighbors, and be like, go mess them up. They're trying to take me. And
yeah,
people who do know you be like, fuck those guys. Let's go put them in the ocean.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is fun. So now you are learning how to do Thieves' Cant. We'll have that finished by this coming week. Mask. I know we're above table talking about Mask, of how comfort and unbothered, wavered, charismatic will can actually be kind of threatening, especially when you're holding all the cards. You know, it's like where and find.
Fey life, right? Like the fairies aren't like scary because they're big, threatening. Like it's that like you can't shake this, even if like it's the rolling with it, I think. And I also think Mask hides in their food and their comfort and all of those things really well as well. To the point where this was my dice rolls suck. We all know that. We know we gotta take care.
They're banished. Those are banished. No more.
Perception though, you caught this guy.
Yeah, as cursed as they are, they do like a good story, and I felt that was like a really good moment for Mask too, because it wasn't like them being threatening in the bar, but it was like, in fact, it looked like he won in the bar, and then we walked out and we have a great discount now.
Yeah. It was so the problem that I wanted this to unlock sort of like a fast pass easy way to get across into the Unity, because as we know from our past member Diva, she got in here by crossing the river and being a beast, and kind of guards and soldiers would kind of look at a creature and go, it's a creature. Don't worry about a creature. Like we're not here to find papers on a creature. However, there's only a few ways for Unity to get into the kingdom and vice versa, and that's either by mass sail ship, and that's how Arrow got here, is that there was like a big order or a big sort of delivery happened via sort of these mass ships. There is through the lifted hills, which that is done illegally. But it's very dangerous because it's over sort of like where the river crosses through. It's a very dangerous space to go through. And then there is Cross Cauldron Lake, which is very expensive. There is a lot of, it's like going through 10 TSAs. You gotta unpack everything, show them what you're carrying. They ask you what you're doing here, how long you stay in. You know, they want to know where you're going, who you're talking to. They're going to write everything down. If you don't show up in 2 weeks or however long you've been there, they're going to come try to find you. You know, it sucks. You know, it's why there's a tentative peace, because this is like the beginning stages of comfortability between the two neighboring powers. But Mask is able to secure something, one, cheaper, and two, you might have a lot more options of like not having to disclose too much.
Yeah, I feel like Mask also would brag to all of everybody. But it wouldn't be like I threatened somebody in the back alley. It would be like, I got us the best discount.
And then finally, we had a scene with Phoenix at the Order of the Second Life.
See.
Yeah, I like
I want to play with satyr babies. It's like I brought one home.
No.
I know. She
Oz
wouldn't
is not
take
bringing-
one.
he's
She
not
would
bringing
definitely
this
like try to carry 5.
There is a joke. So the way I built Oz, Oz has been a character I've been mulling over for a few months now. And I've talked to. There was a long discussion about me and Ember about who the trainer was going to be, because she wanted to train with an order. That was sort of one of the beginning goals of Phoenix.
Yeah.
And initially was going to be like maybe a dwarven woman who was kind of chill, and we were like bouncing ideas around. And then I've been working on Oz for a while. He was going to be an NPC for this campaign, and I've been doing it for a few months, like sort of testing him out. And then we're like, why don't we just bring this guy? He is a satyr satyrs are known for like their musical talent. And it's like artistry, sucks at it. Sucks at art, sucks at music. He's only good at one thing, and that is the other thing satyrs are really known for. That's procreation. And so he has 12 kids.
He's really good at something, clearly. So
he has 12 kids. He's sort of a little bit of a playful dad, as we saw in sort of the scene where he's like, come early. Phoenix is like, what time? You tell me and I'll judge. What time are you gonna come, Phoenix?
I think the earliest that she's ever got up to train is probably like 2 to 3, and that was like when Obadiah was like kicking her ass. So she'd probably try to show up then. She's gonna be like, I gotta go to bed early. Nobody talk to me. I gotta be somewhere tomorrow.
It's gonna be great.
Probably 3, bro. She's not pulling off 2.
I'm gonna
She's
I'm
like,
gonna
I
roll
gotta
it.
stretch.
You show up at the monastery at 3 a.m. and he doesn't show up until 6.
That brat. She's probably out there running the freaking. If there's like an arena or field, she'll go find something to do.
I mean, technically, there would be a scene you training with him because you did roll. You did roll with our dexterity, so there probably is like a little moment prior of you training with him for a little bit, and him waking up at 6 in the morning going, "I've got 12 kids. It takes me a while to get out of the house."
I was hoping.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was so hoping when she was like, "Yeah, is 5 early enough?" that he'd be like, 5? Nah, we get over here at like 10.
Yeah.
Take the time.
Yeah,
Not that kind of monastery.
Yeah, he's like, man, you're really. There was a thing that I wanted him to focus on was like, Phoenix is kind of a tensed person at times, and I want him to sort of focus and be like, boy, you're really wound up. You gotta relax, chill out, go to bed, wake up at 6 and come over here, get some breakfast.
She does go to bed
at
early.
7.
She doesn't go to bed late. She's probably one of the first people, along with Legati, to knock the hell out. Like, she doesn't stay up late unless something is making her stay up late.
Have you ever gone dancing? It'd be like one of those moments of like, you ever chilled out for a bit? Are we supposed to train? Yeah, we'll get to that. Don't worry about it.
Arrow would like to personally thank this man at some point.
But no, he wants to be your sponsor so you can go train with his wife. She also used to be a tense
tells
person.
me Mama hits harder.
Mama's a little chill. Mom's kind of chill.
Yeah. If mom has 12 kids, I know she hits harder as a mom myself. You get freak strength at a certain point.
High insight. Very high insight.
What did you do? That's all I was like, is she good
Don't lie to me.
at talking? Is she good at reading people? Because, I mean, I could tell her no, but... she might not believe me.
It's also a very dad thing to do. Like, you're away from 12 kids and your wife, and you're like, don't tell my wife.
That's really bad for running, but I don't know if he runs. Like, if that's his trick, or he does something else.
Incredible. So
She'll bench the kids. She'll do push-ups. Like, get them back.
He's not bringing his kids. I would not bring.
Gym.
Yeah.
I could not
Totally
fathom,
fine.
even in a fantasy world, how could one or even two people handle 12
escape.
kids in a monastery where everyone's running around and they are satyrs themselves?
Easy. You put them to go run laps. That's what you do. Be like, look, you're crazy. Go there and run like a little loony.
You play what my dad calls the 100 rock game.
Go find 100 rocks?
Collect 100 rocks, and they have to make a pile.
See,
Everyone's
I
nodding
laps.
like they've done this before. I've never.
Amber did laps. Like, Amber ran like a crazy person. That's how I got into track. So that's how I was like, I run it out of you.
I went to a
I
corner
started
store.
playing 100 rock game myself as an adult, so I can only imagine it would work great for a child also.
I went to a corner store, bought some really nice slingshots with my cousins, and we used to shoot rocks at each other. Does that count as killing time?
No.
That's what the 100 rock game turns into.
Yeah. Eventually it turns into all-out war. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. As we will now go find 100 rocks. See you guys next time. Bye.